Well, hey, G Holla, G dot Holla.
Girl, Ge Holla, Charlemagne the God here, man. Salute to you.
Ge Holla, what's going on? This is Lecrae.
That's right. Get it right. And shouts out to that boy Ge Holla. G Hall.
Who I have sitting on the other side of the camera. So divine, so fine, so awesome, so amazing. For those who may not know and will know, this is DJ Moni. Don't it sound like money? It's like Moni, money, Moni, money. It's just so intertwined, intermixed with a level of beautiful melanin and magic representing, man, the risque DJs. Y'all gonna find out the risque DJs. We can't tell you this yet. We can't tell you this yet. We gotta get into a story. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the awesome, the amazing, the wonderful, the once in a lifetime. You know, you better take a picture because you may not miss all this greatness at once upon a time. Let me get into the subject of the matter. DJ Moni, how you
Hey,
doing?
hey, welcome, welcome. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking the time out your wonderful day. I know you're traveling around the world doing all these great and magical and memorous and monumental things to stop back by and have a drink with you. Boy, I appreciate you. Tap on
Well,
my tap.
listen, I tell you what, I need to hire you just to give my introduction because you do it so marvelously. So thank you so much again for having me.
Y'all got a job. See, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Master. Y'all done took me places, you know. So, DJ Wonderful Monet, you know what I'm saying? Tell me about your life growing up in the music. How was you attracted to this entertainment industry? Give me some background.
Well, music has always been a part of my life. You know, just growing up, my mom and dad played music before we went to bed, of course, for every celebration. And then my grandfather, he was one of the first Black DJs in the South, actually DJing gospel music. So, you know, I spent time going to the radio station and things like that growing up. So I guess I was just bred for it.
That's right. Cool. Now, I know we don't want to give away the timeline of the divine age, but at what moment in your own personal history did you realize I'm going to pick up these tools and become a DJ?
Well, actually, it was during COVID. So just being locked into the house, and we moved to Las Vegas. We're thinking we're coming to party, you know, and the world shut down on us. So I literally woke up one day and was just like, I think I'm going to DJ, you know, and I bought some equipment and really just started going on YouTube and getting some tutorials and took my hand at it.
Okay. Now we know you're young. You was only born in 1999. You know what I'm saying? So you may have had older cousins or siblings. We don't know. But did your older cousins ever tell you about the time where they had the cassettes, where they would listen to the radio? Did they ever tell you about those moments in the 90s, you know, way before you was born, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, of course. You know, my cousin DJ'd growing up, so I remember the crates. Like I said, my grandfather DJ'd, and I just really kind of always been around DJs. So I remember lugging the crates to the different shows and things of that nature. I can say I'm glad I don't have to do that today.
Now, speaking of the crates, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to speak in your old Southern grandma tone. What's wrong with these children? Why are they jumping on top of the crates? What is you doing? Get
Oh
down before you
man.
break something. What's going on with the crate challenge?
Listen,
You think?
I think social media to some degree is just really just messing with our minds, you know, and we're you know not being able to do some of the same things that we were able to do prior to COVID. I think people are bored. They're looking for ways to entertain themselves and they're looking for their 15 minutes of fame. So I can't blame them. I won't do it.
What would you do if you were at a DJ party if you would just start stacking crates while you're DJing? You're like, do you just stop the music and be like, no, come down?
Listen, I'm trying to get out of there as quickly as possible because I don't even want to be tied to the foolishness. Okay.
Who are some of your favorite DJs that we can look at through time and history? You know, especially for people that may not know much about DJing, because it's such a rare, dying art. Because I know, as your older cousins would tell you, back in the day, you would have had like Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Fresh, you know, Eric B and Rakim type of thing. Who are some of your favorite DJs that you found throughout history?
Well, I mean, of course, Jazzy Jeff, he definitely has done some great things in the music industry for DJs and music as a whole. I definitely have to pay homage to my mentor, DJ Prince Ice, out of Columbia, South Carolina. I grew up calling into the radio station trying to make those requests, and I think it was Tracy Spencer, Tender Kisses, and so I wanted to be involved, and I really just networked with a lot of DJs, going to parties and things of that nature, just really embedded in that music. So, I'm just trying to keep the thing alive. You know what I mean?
You're doing a wonderful job of it too. And I just want to say this too as well. How does a DJ transition? I think that is the pivotal, most crucial, most critical, most achieving award that you can have is when you know how to make those songs go from slow jam to slow jam. How do you transition? Give us some tools.
I think, it's important to create a set that's going to take your listeners through a journey, whether we're starting out with some old school and we're going to take you down south with some ATL and bring you back up top, to some New York hip hop and maybe take you out west and then slow you back down. I try to look at it as a workout, you know what I mean? So that's just my approach to the whole thing.
Okay. Now I know you was only 3 days old when Cash Money taking over from the 99 to 2000 came out. But do you find that's a good party starter for the ladies to get up on the floor and twerk a little something, shake a little something? What you think? What's the best twerking star? What do you go with?
I think Uncle Luke, you can never fail. You can never fail with some mystical. You can never fail with just some good ATL crunk music, So it just really depends on who you're playing for at that time and just really trying to feel your crowd and understand, what kind of experience they're trying to have.
Very good answer. What have you as of yet crossed certain cultural or economic lines? Because we all know, even the rich other culture people of us, they listen to our music too. What has that experience been like playing for a crowd that you'll play something, you'll be like, oh wow, you know that too. That's amazing. How does that work?
Well, really, when I set out to become a DJ, I really just wanted to spin house, EDM, Afro house. And I thought, oh, I'm in Las Vegas. I'm going to have this experience to be able to spin that, style of music. But all of the gigs that I started to pick up, everybody wanted hip hop. And believe it or not, even though hip hop is such a huge part of my life, I didn't practice spinning. I didn't practice transitioning. I didn't practice doing those things. So it was a bit of a challenge. I spent several days crying and being frustrated, but I persevered and kept going. So
Absolutely. See there, I told y'all without there's no gain, without the pain. That's some of our problems. Some of us ain't cried enough, even if it's spiritually. We ain't went through nothing. So when those little tides, little tribulations hit, we just quit. We just give up. But I love the fact that you stayed strong, 10 toes down in the game, so to speak, because you really got 10 toes on the floor. You really do. You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, just a few more questions on a spiritual nature. When you're getting ready to mix that song, do you have a form of time travel? And when I'm saying time travel, it's just traveling a few seconds in the future to see how the crowd is going to react. How well do you read energy?
Oh, energy is such a huge part of life just in general. Everything carries energy. So for me, I try to make sure, number one, that I keep my energy, my space pure. And then, with the people that I'm working with and the gigs that I'm taking, I try to make sure that we are in some type of alignment because that could turn into a really disastrous thing. So for me, even with the branding, I like to date my clients. I like to get a feel for, what kind of vibe you have. So I'm able to be my best self and deliver the best product as possible.
Okay. Now, just out of curiosity, put you in the hot seat a little bit and put a little boiling water on you, just a little boiling water, just a little boiling. What if you were booked by a group that was not racially open. Now, this is gonna sound crazy. You might say, hey, they can look at my pictures, they can look and tell that I am a melanated woman. But just by chance, someone else booked it, even out of fun, What if you walk in somewhere and it's like neo-Nazis, like skinheads, that type of thing, or whatever type of crowd, and you could tell they were visually, holding certain grudges against you, but because they paid you, they wanted you to play their songs. What would you do?
Well, I think before I even got that far, we would have already figured that out, and I might not have taken them on as a client. But let's just say that did happen. I'm very well versed in music. I listen to all types of genres, from country, rock and roll, heavy metal, reggae. It doesn't really matter. I love music. So I'm sure I have something in my repertoire that will get them going. So I think music is one of those things. It's just, a universal language, and it brings people together. So I'd hope that I'd be able to create that type of vibe for them.
Hey, that would be so cool. That was just a moment in history, not even just your history, for the melanated culture's history. It would be just so amazing to watch people turn their whole views of life about people. And I like what you said. It is a universal language. It takes people of different demographics, geographics, and bonds them together and go, you know what? You're not so different after all. That's cool. You like what I like. This is amazing because, we've been fed so much in our cultures about different things, and it's not always necessarily true. So you're right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I must agree with you. Growing up, I grew up in a very culturally open area. I went to school with all types of, ethnicities and things of that nature. So I think because of that, it's helped me become a chameleon, and I'm able to, mold myself around whatever situation comes my way. So I think I'll be ready.
Yes, when you born ready, you don't have to get ready for the 9-9.
Right.
DJ Moni. Get your Moni, get your DJ Moni. Oh, I want to know, what I'm saying? You got the risque DJs. What is that about? It looks very intriguing. It looks very eye candy-ish. Tell us about the DJ risque.
Well, so, when I started DJing, of course, like I said, the world was shut down. OnlyFans was extremely popular. Everybody was making all this money. So I'm like, okay, let me try to hop on this platform and really take my hand at it. And, of course, there's so many wonderful female DJs out there. I'm the branding mind. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to stand out? And I didn't see anyone per se DJing in lingerie and costumes. So I dubbed myself the Risque DJ, and the rest is history.
Oh my God, it's just mentally eye candy. You could just picture it. It's a wonderful sight. I think there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, of mixing a little sensual femininity, sexuality, divine goddess energy into that, because that's well needed too. All of us are different. Like, some of us, we're pescatarians, some of us are vegans, some of us are vegetarians, some of us only eat certain things. And as you know, your mind is consuming everything in your reality that's feeding your growth and development. And we need to see that too. That's a beautiful balance in the buffet of life, but that's just my opinion.
Absolutely. I must agree with you all the way.
You are the Chick-fil-A of DJs. I'm telling you, my pleasure. My pleasure. No, my pleasure. What album do you want? My pleasure. You are amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Chick-fil-A could run the country. So can you. You could be the national DJ of the national anthem, and everybody would tune in. This is how amazing and dope that you are. Your mind, you are a brilliant being on the planet, a wonderful spirit, awesome soul, and just a divine Black melanated woman. And we appreciate you because you keeping this earth go round. If it was not for the Black woman, none of us would be here. So we definitely have to pay our tributes and our honor and respect to you today, DJ Moni, for real.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cool. Just a few more, what I'm saying? And we wind it down. Only got a short period of time because you're doing what you're doing. So how do we get in contact with you? How do we reach out to you? How do we find DJ Moni?
Well, absolutely. You can find me on Instagram and just about all of the other platforms at the DJ Moni. Of course, check me out online, djmoni.com. We have something special going on right now for all of our melanated female DJs. We have Melanated DJ Coalition, which is specifically for the melanated female DJs. So check us out, Melanated DJs on Instagram and melanatedDJs.com.
Sounds good, y'all. Y'all better make sure y'all tap in there. Stop playing around. I know y'all been doing this since way back in the day. But DJ Moni don't know about this. I'm about to tell her. Before 1999, when she was born, there was people, they used to take tapes, and you know what I'm saying? They used to take albums and double tapes and tape some tapes. That was the early form before the 2000 Napster where people were stealing music. Y'all don't do that. Don't steal no shows. Don't steal no music. Show her some
Support
love.
the artist, yes.
Come on, you know what I'm saying? Oh, a question. It was a divine inspiration. I don't know if anyone ever asked you this. How do you feel, DJ Moni, how do you feel about people taking their cell phones, their devices, and recording your show and uploading it on social media? How do you feel about that?
Well, I think that social media has given us a way to share what we're doing and things of that nature. Some people will never be able to make it to your show, but just because someone went live and was able to capture that, now you've gained a whole other following. So I think, of course, yes, support the artists when you're able to go to the shows, when you're able to purchase music and things of that nature, definitely do so. But I think, the world is a better place when we're able to share what we're doing with our friends and our family. So please share mine.
DJ Moni said, all the churches, the doors of the church are now open. Come on in, come on out. Please tell me
and
the
we're
collection
passing the
plate.
collection plate.
You're getting baptized with all these eyes, these thighs, these legs. Oh my, you know what I'm saying? Y'all better hurry up. I'm with you. You are doing your thing. Yeah, before we get into the game playing of the show, I would definitely like to ask, is there anything that I missed that you would like to talk to the people about?
Outside of, like I was mentioning, the Melanated DJ Coalition, that's something near and dear to my heart. It'll be a home where melanated female DJs will be able to kind of live together and, share ideas, share, any type of knowledge that they have, gain knowledge for those of us who are wanting to become DJs, monetize their own content, sell merchandise and things of that nature. So it's going to be a spectacular program. Like I said, please definitely check us out, melanateddjs.com and Melanated DJs on Instagram. And for those of you who need a brand or you have a brand and you're not happy with how your brand looks, definitely hit me up, SimoneHughes.com. I can get everything going for you.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Hey, ladies, y'all can work together sometimes too. I know it's hard even for a mother and a daughter to live together, but work together sometimes.
Yeah.
Put away all your drama, all your cattiness, and all your beef, and come kick it with DJ. Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Let's make a difference together.
Hey, a closed fist. If you're fighting in the sense, this is like life. We're fighting in life collectively as melanated people. If we just get together and do this, or even when we're receiving, instead of having our hands so spread and wide open, close them up and let's do this together. Just like your hands.
Absolutely.
Your hands work in cooperation with the body. That's what I'm talking about. You dope.
Absolutely. Thank you.
The final thing before I go, you know what I'm saying? DJ Moni, I don't know if you remember the game of sevens. I will briefly explain it, but if you remember, I will hush and let you do your thing.
Go ahead and explain.
Okay, let's go. DJ Moni, the number 7 is such a divine and holy and spiritual number. It is found throughout all of nature, all of man, what man has built. It's just everywhere. First, we know when we look at what's called the alphabet, we see remnants of it. It says A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, if you come from a religion, you come from a spirituality, or even if you come from some type of secret society that you've later joined and sworn an oath to, the letter G always typically stands for God, goddess, because in some spiritual understanding, some people say that God is a female too as well. And that would make sense because, female is definitely the essence of love. So we can't deny that. And also we see that for the secret society people, it stands for grand architect or the great builder. Now, speaking of builders, check this out. All buildings are built upon right angles. Even when you go get squares, or some people probably refer to them as rulers, it's nothing more but a bent ruler. It's made into an L for that reason, especially when you're measuring rooms and outside and things of that nature. Well, check this out. When you take that number 7 and that L, and you flip it, it turns into the number 7. Miraculously enough, when you put 2 7s together, it turns into one of the strongest structures that there is on the planet. That's why almost on every top of every building or sacred building, whether it be certain buildings within the city or corporate or even homes, you always find this thing on top of the edifice of it, everything, even back to ancient culture. Well, guess what? When you look at it this way, we say, hey, symbolically in the spiritual community, it is a symbol for man. Well, guess what? When you take the whole symbol and flip it up, it is the symbol for woman.
Right.
And what's crazy is that when you look at the pyramids and all these great places, excuse me, let me correct myself for my spiritual people, get me. For the true pyramids, which are only found in Africa, in the land of Kemet that they call Egypt today, which is the land of black man, black woman, the melanated nation, one of the greatest nations on this planet, you find that symbol of the female, the masculine, excuse me, the feminine and the masculine divine. Nothing more than 4 7s collectively touching upon each other, which is symbolically of the greatest invention on this planet, which is the woman's womb. That is the sacred portal, the sacred vulva that all of us have to pass through, even if you are cut out during your 9-month stay within your great goddess mother. See, we back to the G again. Now we know brothers in the hood been doing a spiritual game this whole time. They never knew it. Shooting dice, craps. What are they trying to get? 7-11.
Yeah.
7-11. You know what I'm saying? Them 11s are good too. Them 11s, if you ever see 11-11, just a quick note, that is your angel numbers of the angels trying to get in contact with you. If you're seeing numbers in sequences, 1 2 3 4, 2 2 2, 4 4 4, they're talking to you. Pay attention. Okay, back to the game of 7s. Right? I know I can't hold you long. We're back on the 7s. 7-11. So, DJ Moni, you are tasked. We're about to stamp the letter G right across your heart. They often say in the spiritual community too, that this is the real brain right here. Your ancestors, they would take people when they would embalm them, because that's where we get that from. They called them mummies, but it was embalmment in our language. They would take the brain, take a hot poker, scramble the brain up, because the brain meant nothing at all other than when you were alive. It's the mind. The mind is beyond the brain. The brain is the hardboard to the computer, and the mind is the internet. It is the cloud. It just exists. It is this untangible but tangible thing. But they used to scramble up the brain, and they would take the heart, and they would carefully make an incision, pull the heart out to preserve it, and put it into a jar, because the heart was the most important thing. And one thing I noticed about you, you are definitely operating from here. You have to choose 7 individuals. Now, when I say individuals, when you say, I want Michael Jackson to come back and perform, you're going to automatically get the whole family. The Jackson 5, Reba, even the one that made the one hit back in the day. You may not know about that because you was only born in 1999. However, you have to choose 7 individuals, which could also be a group, throughout all of time, living or dead. DJ Moni, what 7 people are we going on this DJ Risque Melanated Nation World Tour? Who are you bringing with you?
Well, I think anybody who knows me knows my number 1 pick that I'm drafting definitely has to be Method Man. He's been my love since I was 12 years old, so he's coming with. Definitely have to take Michael. Like, who can have music without Michael Jackson, right? Got to put a little funk in there. Got to have my Prince. I need somebody soft and sensual, so definitely bring in Sade. My number 5, let's see. Let's get crunk with like some, that's a tough one. Let's see. I'll take the Yin Yang Twins just for the ATL mix, you know. Let's see, what am I at? 6? Number 6. Number 6, let's see. Sanaa Allegra. She's new. I love her. Her music, her voice is so amazing. And my last one, let's see. I'm gonna take my brother. Hello, come on, Digit. We're gonna take Digit because we've been rocking since we were kids. You know what I mean? So I got to take him with me. So that's definitely my my 7.
And we cannot forget one of the most wonderful elements to this whole show that is the glue, that is the essence, that is the thread that binds us all together is DJ Monet. And she is definitely number 8. Now, when we look at the number 8, and this way, looking at the DNA sequencing, because all you got to do is take that DNA and spread it open. It turns, that's the number 8. So that means that on the secondary part, once we take it and flip it, that's why the brothers in the Nation of Islam or any smart and intellectual man wears a bow tie and not a tie. A bow tie represents that 8 DNA sequences and also the infinity symbol. And the tie represents the noose in which your ancestors were hung upon because of racism. So you won't catch any real intelligence. And when I say intelligence, no disrespect. Intelligence is just something that's dealing with a higher level of consciousness. Does not mean you don't know how to do certain things. Just a higher level of understanding. That's that infinity symbol. And it goes right across the throat chakra, amazingly. So your voice will forever reign and shine, and you'll be able to forever heard throughout all the generations. It's really deep. With that being said, DJ
You
Moni,
better go ahead and teach, brother. Better let these people know.
DJ Moni is the best. Is the best. And if you could, before I let you go, could you please let the people know? My name is Ge Holla, and this is My Celebrity Life. Let them know the show that you were on today. Please, I appreciate you.
Absolutely. This is your girl, DJ Moni, the risque DJ, hanging out with Ge Holla with My Celebrity Life podcast.
Hey man, big shout outs to you. Thank you for being on the show. And thank you for allowing us to have a second do-over. You are awesome. You are amazing. I really mean this. I have to give you your flowers while you're here, because it's very pivotal that I make sure that your crown is on and it's always shining. Because as a Black man, that's what I'm supposed to do for another melanated woman on the planet. We're supposed to protect you all. We're supposed to be there for you, uplift you, help you, ensure you get to everywhere you gotta go, because that's just the natural order of things. Whether we study the ants, we study the bees that's in the colony, we study the birds, we study whatever, even the trees, they all lean and rock together when the wind is blowing. And we got to get into that synchronicity for all our Black queens that's on the planet. And thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All blessings. Double tap on the heart like people do on Instagram. Salute you from the jewel of the pineal gland. That's the first eye that people call the third eye, but really it's the first because it was created first, and therefore you can see. And we definitely see that you are awesome and good and wonderful. And thank you. And please be safe along your journey and get that money, DJ Monet.
Thank you. Likewise. Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you. Holla.